speak through Fox News and let the independents who are tuning into you, let them know what it is that she stands for, the principles behind her positions.
It used to be that new candidates were advised to brush up on the issues so they could handle questions from anyone, even tough questions. The idea behind that was that it prepared you also for actually governing. But now the advice to candidates is only to talk to sympathetic reporters.
We need to start now by electing strong leaders who aren't afraid to shake it up. We need strong, principled leaders, public servants who respect our Constitution.
We need clarity. We deserve answers, so we don't ask the same questions tomorrow.
Good night, Lon.
Sarah Palin is now back in Iowa just over 13 months before the state's closely watched caucuses. She's there promoting her new book and generally not talking to reporters about a possible presidential run. But CNN's Jim Acosta managed to ask her about that and more only because her tightly controlled appearances went a little bit off script. Jim is joining us now live. Jim, what happened?
Well, Wolf, as you mentioned, this was a tightly controlled event. People were lining up outside this Walmart here in Spirit Lake, Iowa, as early as 3 o'clock in the morning, if you can believe that. They winded their way through the Walmart in a pretty long line to get a chance to greet the former governor. And they brought the media in 3 by 3, if you can believe this, led us into a room where Sarah Palin was signing those books. And they had the music playing very loudly in there, presumably to discourage us from asking questions. And then at the end of our time with the governor, observing her during this book signing, we decided to ask her the question that's often asked of presidential contenders in Iowa: when are you going to make your announcement on running for president? Governor Palin, any chance you're closer to an announcement on running for president?
Am I doing interviews? I know you're not. To talk to the nice people. Where's our music and where's our good enthusiasm?
Well, we're nice too.
I'm not always, but maybe you are.
Are you getting any closer?
No, not any closer yet. No.
Any comment on what Governor Romney said last night on the Tonight Show?
What did Governor Romney say on the Tonight Show?
He said that he can't imagine he would quit as governor of Massachusetts. Just curious what you thought.
He probably got some Okay, you're done.
And at the very end of that clip there, which we didn't see, she asked us if we had turned off the music, and we responded that we had not. But as you know, Wolf, and as you mentioned, the Iowa caucuses are well over a year from now, so she has plenty of time to make this decision. The caucus is set for February 6th, but we talked to the local mayor here in Spirit Lake, and apparently this book signing is having a positive effect. He was telling us earlier today, Wolf, that he's thinking about endorsing her should she jump in and announce that she's running for president.
Who stuck his or her hand in front of that camera lens at the end of that little clip?
That was one of her handlers, and at that moment we were asked to leave. We were all given 10 minutes to go in there and observe the governor, and that was roughly at the end of our 10 minutes. But asking the question obviously did not go over well with her handlers at that point. They asked us to leave the event. We were allowed to stay in the store, but just not inside the event where she was signing those books.
Yeah, they should not put their hands in front of the camera lens like that. How's this whole attitude that she has? I've covered a lot of campaigns in Iowa over the years. I know the Iowa press, they like to be able to go out and ask potential presidential candidates questions. They're not used to all of these restrictions. Right. How's this going over where you are in Iowa right now?
Well, Sarah Palin is running a very unconventional campaign in Iowa, if you want to call it a campaign. This book signing tour, obviously strategic because she's got 2 stops going through this state. But last week at her other book signing down in Des Moines, she was asked a couple of questions in an impromptu fashion from some local reporters. She took time to answer those questions, but really in the same fashion that she did here today, sort of yes or no, very short, abrupt responses. But, if you ask folks in Iowa, they really like to see their candidates in the flesh and put them through the paces. And it's going to be interesting to watch Sarah Palin over these coming months to see whether or not she'll evolve to the way they like to do things here in Iowa.
Yeah, because Iowa's, they're first in the nation as far as a political contest is concerned.
That's right.
And the straw poll, the Republican presidential straw poll, is going to happen in only a few months in August, and most of the candidates, I assume, will be there for that. So they're going to have to make some quick decisions.
She's extra sassy these days, too, because she's winning. All her mama Grizzlies are winning. And they're busting through that glass ceiling. And the mama Grizzlies are going away. Washington, and they're going to flip your picnic table, Dave. You know what I noticed on Fox News last night, though, is on Fox News, they address her as Governor Palin, which is like calling me Dairy Queen employee. Like, I was once, but I quit.
That's right.
There is that point there that somehow Sarah Palin forgets. Oh, well.
Perhaps we are not properly educating our youth in the exceptional nature of America. It's worrisome because this belief in American exceptionalism is something that every new generation has got to make its own if we expect our republic and our liberties to be secure and to live on. For America to survive, we have got to pass this on to that next generation, to the young kids who are here, to the students.
You know, this real America, does it exist, John?
Well, in terms of real American and exceptionalism, look, the most basic thing that people can do in support of democracy is vote. And we take our votes very seriously. The people of Alaska voted for Sarah Palin, and Sarah Palin quit. Exceptional people don't quit. And I seriously tell my kids this probably 2 or 3 times a week. It's better to lose than to quit. So she can sit there and she can talk about being exceptional. She can talk about better of America. If she were a better person, she would have stood and fought. She chose to check out and to do it to make money. I've got no problem with making money, but that's what she is. She's a reality
I
star.
have a different observation, though. He hears what's going on. That speech, the first 20 minutes, was every vapid cliche strung together. It was complete, almost nonsense.
Suppose Senator John Doe puts forth a constitutional amendment that would outlaw abortion, even in cases of rape or incest, and he asked you to attend the announcement and support him in that. Would you do it?
I would. Yes, a proposal like that, I would stand by it.
Let's be completely clear about the facts here. There is no place in the world and no time in history where restricting women's reproductive rights makes a people or a nation more free or more equal. These extreme positions on abortion are, without any question, a war on American girls and women, and the fact that there are women who are both complicit and participatory in it is really neither surprising nor unprecedented. It has always been true, and it is incredibly important that we recognize that despite the fact that we can be very proud of these women and as politicians, that the question is, how do women as citizens fare on the other side of them either being elected or not elected?